Associate supporting health naturally, Dr. Jason Batson. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
I am well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm great. I'm great. A pleasant good morning to the listeners of 103.1 FM. Yeah, always a pleasure to be in your company discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. Uh, we had a very interesting program last week, and as usual, the program is interactive. So we appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your information as regards to what we're discussing. And today, of course, we're going to speak about hormonal imbalance in women, especially as it relates to issues associated with polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, women who have very painful menstrual cycles, you're having issues with uh, maybe a situation where you actually have a with bleeding. A lot of women, when you have hormonal imbalance issues, you find it's very likely that you're going to have issues associated with endocrine problem, and in turn that can cause a problem with endometriosis, excessive bleeding. You have problems with low blood count, that type of thing. So that's what we're going to discuss this morning. And of course, what do we at Batson and Associates do to address that particular situation? Of course, keep in mind our marathon clinic days that we are having, where we actually focus on more than usual amount of clients that we would deal with, especially in the Shoguna's office. I usually work in that office on a Wednesday only, but for the past, with the exception of last week, which would have been the week before, and the week before that, we did Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to facilitate those individuals. And of course, we'll be doing that again this coming week, which is the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. We had one or two little challenges, but in all, it went quite good. We were able to deal with individuals. Some of them started actually getting some good results already, some improvement. So, we thank God for that. And, really following the protocol, better blood sugar readings, better blood pressure readings, improved cardiovascular function. Those of you who may have problems associated with arthritis, that is something to look forward to. And of course, we do have the live nutritional blood cell analysis, which is fundamental. We're doing a lot of work with that now, where you're actually able to see the importance of your blood, how healthy blood is. And of course, blood is life. I tell people blood is the river of life. Blood is responsible for for transporting nutrients and oxygen to cells in the human body. So if your blood is unhealthy, it is quite obviously that your body is going to be unhealthy. And that is something that we encourage people to do at Batson and Associates, where we have our very trained consultants. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Mr. Rene Bustamante, and of course, Mr. Stefan Vialva. Let me say a pleasant good morning to our social media listeners. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Limited. No, Trinidad, my apologies. So again, those telephone numbers for the Shoguna's office, you can give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Let me just say a quick good morning to Miss Sintra L. Ramada. Good morning. Miss Keisha Bettel. Good morning. Kelly Sharp Pahote. She says, ironic, I just started spearmint tea for hormonal imbalance and hirsutism, so I am locked in as well. Ms. Kathleen Ishmael, may Jehovah continue to bless and keep you. Always a beautiful blessing, Doctor. Thank you so very much, Miss Angela Andrews and Miss Maureen Pierre Reed. Good morning to you. Keep in mind that the program is interactive, so I'd allow Karen to give you the information as regards to where you need to message or for those particular questions that you want to ask.
That's right. So you can WhatsApp the studio on 299-4103.
Good. So when we speak in hormonal imbalance, what are we really speaking about? So hormones, we know, are chemical messengers in the body. The organ systems that are responsible for the production of hormones are the organs that primarily comprise the endocrine system. And the endocrine system would basically include glands that play a significant role in the secretion of these chemical messengers, which are called hormones. So we're speaking about things like your thyroid gland, your pituitary gland, parathyroid, adrenals, and so on. So the thing is, if you have thyroid imbalance, for example, you may have hyperthyroidism, which is high thyroid function, or you may have hypothyroidism, which is low thyroid function. You may also be diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. You may be diagnosed with fibroids. You may be diagnosed with endometriosis, which is thickening of the uterine lining. You may be diagnosed or experiencing issues associated with adenomyosis. All of these complaints primarily originate from one issue, which is hormonal imbalance as a result of imbalance in the endocrine system. So the question is, how, of course, do you fix that? And at Batson Associates, of course, being specialist consultants in integrative medicine, our objective is really to deal with the root cause of the problem, as should be your objective. You know, with all these clients that I would have been seeing over the past few weeks, I'm continually astonished at the fact that a lot of persons do not know what proper nutrition is. And I mean, that's a really a failed society. A society has failed us in that regard. Even for persons' children, they don't understand the importance of what proper nutrition is. And people continue to, sort of, I wouldn't say negate is not the word, but they continue to just, ignore the importance of proper nutrition, because I tell persons this on a consistent basis. If you are not eating properly, if you're not taking care of yourself, if your diet has a lot of sugar in it. Now, some people might say, Dr. Batson, I don't use a lot of sugar, but you don't know how much sugar you're using. You know why? I always tell persons, read your labels. Every 4 grams of sugar. So if you read a label and the label says 20 grams of sugar, every 4 grams of sugar is equivalent to what? 1 teaspoon. We have covered this on numerous occasions. So if they are saying to you that whatever you're eating, whatever biscuit, whatever chocolate, whatever you're eating, look at that reading. Look at what they're saying about grams. And for every 4 grams, you have 1 teaspoon. So if you have a donut, for example, which may have 35 grams, or for math's sake, 40 grams, if you divide that 40 by 4, how much you're getting? 10, right? So that's 10 teaspoons of sugar in that 1 cupcake. So the thing is, a lot of people say, but I do eat sugar, I do use sweet, but you don't know that you are, and you don't understand how to calculate it. So that's very, very important. And that's one of the things that the World Health Organization was really focusing on, which is why a lot of these fast food outlets and whatnot have to actually put now the caloric intake and different aspects of nutrition, which quite frankly, fast food has absolutely no nutritional value in any case. But the law made it mandatory that they now have to let you know what are inside of those things. So for example, if you have 20 grams of sodium, what you essentially have is what? 5 teaspoons of salt. So a lot of times you're consuming things and you don't know what exactly you're consuming. So it's very, very important to, again, look at those numbers. Remember, every 4 grams is 1 teaspoon. And of course, use that in checking up and making sure that you're not consuming high amounts of sugar. We have a question?
Yeah, we have a question, and this is about dairy, particularly milk. So with different types of milk on the grocery shelves, is oat milk good to drink?
The thing is, milk, the milk alternatives that they have, technically is not milk, right? You all know that, right? When we talk about milk, well, you have different types of milk. So let's keep it like that. Dairy milk, I'm not too fond of at all, simply because if you really understand anatomy and physiology, how the body works, milk is one of the worst things for your body to digest. It significantly increases inflammatory response in the body, which is why it has so much of sick people. So is a no-no for dairy milk. As regards to the milk alternatives, look at your labels again, because they're going to have to put some sort of sugar inside of there. So again, every 4 grams is equivalent to 1 teaspoon. So try and take the one that has the lowest amount. But I often tell persons, what you're really using milk for. What you're using milk for? Is it that you get a habit? Because a lot of times it is habitual, and you just have to understand that you have a bad habit that needs to change. Now, you may be making a smoothie, so you might be adding certain things and you want the little milk in the situation. So maybe if in a case like that, you could use like the almond milk or the oat milk and that kind of thing. But generally, if you could stay away from milk, leave the people milk right to part of this for me, please. In the long run, it is going to augur better for you. Milk is very, very inflammatory. It causes significant problems in the body. So if you could leave it, leave it. I always tell persons when you're doing a smoothie, you could do a little bit of oats for yourself. I mean, a lot of people looking at the convenience, and I understand that. But again, read your label. That's very, very important. Okay, we have a question.
Yep, here's another question. Is there any way to get rid of gallbladder stones rather than just removing the gallbladder?
Of course, definitely, definitely. Santulan is something that does that. There's a product we carry at Batson Associates called Santulan, which is a 7-channel detox. It's available at all our offices, and that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So it's vitally important. For example, if you want to look at cleansing the gallbladder, Santulan is something that's going to work. The alkagen water also works as well, because you have to keep in mind that your gallbladder is responsible for what? Your gallbladder is responsible for fat, the emulsification of fat in the body, or the metabolization of fat. So if you remove your gallbladder, what you're essentially ending up in a situation is where your body is not going to be able to assimilate even healthy fats. Going to be problematic for you. And so that means you're going to have long-term digestive problems, which I think in common sense, you really don't want to have to experience long-term digestive problems. So, that's something you need to pay very, very close attention to. Okay, so you could feel free to give us a call or visit. Keep in mind those open clinic days. For Day's open clinic day is the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 6th of May. Okay, so that's something to, again, pay attention to. And of course, the telephone numbers, you can give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That is 314-9975. We have a question?
Yeah, so what about nuts? There are also various types of nuts. Any in particular is good for us, or any that we should avoid?
Well, the thing is, peanuts is a trouble thing. Simply because it has some parasitic association with it. So too much of it is problematic. Apart from that, in terms of the spectrum, for want of a better expression, of nuts, almonds, cashew, walnuts, what's the one that you normally break out of the shell? Pistachio. Eat your nuts. Very good. It has healthy oils, rich in omegas, very good for the brain. In fact, just recently I was looking at some research that was in Europe, where they were actually encouraging their senior citizens to actually use more nuts because of the advent of problems with Alzheimer's, Parkinson, vascular dementia, that type of thing. You can also check out the inflammation formula that we carry at Batson and Associates. Very good product for actually naturally reducing inflammatory response in the body. So those of you who may be diagnosed with things like rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, you may be going to the doctor and the doctor is telling you that you have some sort of autoimmune conditions. Be very, very, very careful with those diagnoses, because if you're in a crisis, we could understand the use of, let's say, prednisolone temporarily. But the problem that we're having is that too many individuals are being placed on steroids for extended periods of time. And if you already understand what steroids do to the body, it's actually very counterproductive, especially in treating arthritis and treating asthma. I feel so sorry for asthma patients. I was speaking to one just recently, because the thing is, you reach a point where that asthma can become so bad that you're going to be dependent on the prednisolone. So you're going to have problems with weight challenges. You could also end up with steroid-induced diabetes, where the use of the prednisolone long-term is going to give you diabetes. I mean, common sense maybe for a book. You don't really want that. So the question is, what is causing the imbalance in your body? What is the condition of your blood? How healthy is your blood? And that is where your blood analysis comes in, your magnetic resonance analysis comes in, which is one of the services that we have at Batson and Associates. So again, those telephone numbers, feel free to give us a call or visit. We have our open clinic day next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, in Chaguanas. That's the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. That telephone number quickly is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That is 314-9975. We have a question, Karen?
Mhm.
Yes.
What could be possible reasons for low blood pressure? For example, 84/53. Are there any natural foods to help alleviate that?
Low blood count. Low blood count. Anytime you see your blood pressure reading those figures, your blood count is low. Now, the thing is, a lot of persons do not know that when you're dealing with blood count, blood and whole blood tests, as a specialist consultant as well in integrative hematology, I have seen various cases. I've dealt with a lot of people with sickle cell. I've dealt with persons with thalassemia and those type of things. Whenever you have a problem where your blood pressure is in those numbers, it means you have a serious problem with your blood and your whole blood count. Now, the thing is, you may do a blood test and what we call a CBC, which is a complete blood count, where they look at a number of things. So they look at your white blood cells, so they look at your monocytes, lymphocytes, eosinophils, basophils, that type of thing. They look at your red blood cell, they look at things like your ferritin, your hematocrit, and those type of things. And a lot of individuals, you may be good in some areas, but a lot of the other areas you have problem. Now, in an individual who has serious low blood count, what you really have is a bone marrow problem. Now, what you're going to do? Do I take out your bone marrow or do a bone marrow transplant? No, we're not saying that. The thing is, how do you improve the health of your bone marrow? And that's something that we could do. And a lot of people do not know that because your bones comprise of different cells. There are cells in the bones known as osteocytes. And then you have something known as osteocalcin and a number of different cells and cell structure in the entire musculoskeletal system. The thing is, if you have parasitic issues, which most people have and they don't know, those parasites leave the intestines, get in the bloodstream, and go into your bones. And let me tell you something. When them fellas get inside, are they in problems? You know? And that is what rheumatoid arthritis is. Rheumatoid arthritis is primarily parasite in your bones. I'll say it again. Rheumatoid arthritis. People who have debilitating arthritis, you have parasite in your bones. Now think about that. We know parasites do what? There's nothing good. There's no good relationship with you and a parasite. You know, the parasite get everything. It's like you go to court, you have a divorce settlement, and parasite take everything. You get nothing for yourself. It's going to steal your nutrition. It's going to cause problems with serious toxic buildup. And as a result of that, you are going to end up in situations. How does prednisolone help you? All prednisolone does, prednisolone suppresses inflammation. Understand the difference. We have bright people listening, right? There is a significant different connotation with the word suppress and reduce. Get Oxford Dictionary and check it. So the thing is, if you suppress inflammation, the inflammation isn't gone enough. It's like you're holding it down with a spring. And the inflammation is going to go in different cells and tissues. The thing is, your body is very good at storing rubbish to save your life. You know? What do you think gallstones are? Rubbish in your gallbladder. What do you think fibroids are? Rubbish in your uterus. What do you think polycystic ovaries are? Rubbish in your ovaries. What do you think blocked arteries are? Rubbish in your arteries. The thing is, your body cannot get rid of it at a particular point in time. So the body has no other choice but to push it in a corner where, we'll deal with that when we get some time. Because your body is always trying to do what? Save your life. And the thing is, there are people, you're so toxic. People don't understand toxins, you know. I was speaking to someone recently. Do you realize that now we're experiencing a lot of cancer in Trinidad and Tobago? Is breast cancer, prostate cancer, pancreatic cancer, colorectal cancer, colon cancer, and a lot of individuals who are being diagnosed with cancer, they are being diagnosed at which stage? Stage 1? No. Stage 4 and stage 5. So people walking around every day and you have cancer that has metastasized in some part of your body, and Paul, you don't know. You know when you find out? Is when you say, but you realize you're not feeling sick or emergency, you end up in the hospital. And when they run tests, the doctors are saying, nah, boy, something wrong here. And then they may do a biopsy, which I don't really like. In essence, I mean, they can do CT scans, they can do MRIs, but our availability of CT scan and MRIs in the hospital is a next different thing. But in any case, they check, and then the doctor tells you, listen to me, you have prostate cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer. And that's what we're seeing. And that has to do with the lack of detoxification, the lack of proper hydration. So feel free to give us a call or check out our social media. Again, our telephone number again, 222-8261, 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. We have a question?
Yeah, this is from a 37-year-old woman. She's been experiencing for a year now her periods every 2 weeks. It's heavy for a couple of days, but then it's just spotting after that. Is there anything she needs to do?
Repeat that again for me.
Okay, so this 37-year-old has been experiencing her periods every 2 weeks. So she'll have a 2 week, she'll have it for a few days and then a 2 week break, and then she'll experience her periods again.
Yeah, definitely. That's hormonal imbalance. We could help you with that, but you have to look at your digestive system. Look at how much water you're drinking. Most likely you're not drinking sufficient amounts of water. And then the type of water. So it means you have an acidity problem. So you can always check out Batson and Associates, at least the Alkagen water. There's a product we carry called Inflammation Formula and a product called Optimizer. You cannot use Santulan yet because with that amount of bleeding, your blood count is going to be low. So if you can avail yourself of any of those clinic days to at least have a consultation where we, of course, go over some information with you, that type of thing, then I suggest you do that because that is serious. Because if you do not correct that, you could end up in a situation when your blood count becomes so low that you could have problems with blackouts. I mean, you could be driving and God forbid you get a blackout driving. I mean, think about that. That could never end well. You know, we don't want those type of things to happen to you, but your body is telling you that something is wrong and you need to correct that situation. So again, very quickly, feel free to give us a call or visit. That telephone number again is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Our social media, we are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Enjoy the rest of your day. To the listeners of 103.1 FM, Karen, always a pleasure to be in your company. Until next week, God bless and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Supporting health and naturally with Dr. Jason Batson. We have messages still coming through, so we'll save some of those messages for another show.
No problem.
All right. Thank you all so much for participating on 299-4103. That was a paid program. The views expressed within were not those of 103.1 FM.
Good. So, social media, let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Teresa Libert. She says, morning, Dr. Batson. I have the cold very bad, coughing, bringing up real cold. What can I use? Well, I don't know where you are. You're in Trinidad. Where are you exactly? The thing is, when you're looking at the cold, the thing is you want your cold to go and go completely. The problem with most people is that they end up with post nasal drips, which cause a lot of problem. And that does not eliminate pathogens. You see, pathogens have a way, they're very smart, you know. Pathogens are way older than any human being. They're like the first or one of the first set of organisms on planet, in the universe, in fact. Let me not say the planet. So as a result of that, they're very clever. They have the ability to do something known as pleomorphism, which they have the ability to change their identity very, very quickly. So it's very difficult to recognize them. It's also very difficult for antibiotics to do anything with them, which is why we have so many antibiotic resistant strains of bacteria and whatever the case may be. So definitely it's a matter of helping the immune system to boost itself. The silver with mineral formula, very good. Inflammation formula, very good. Okay, let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Felicia James. She said, I sent the report for you. Okay, I know I have some things on my desk to address tomorrow, please God. So once you sent it, the office is going to put it in that folder where I get all my information for me to call and make the necessary. So I will organize what I need to organize for you, and we'll go from there. Miss Elizabeth Mary asked the question, how do you eliminate parasites from your bones? That requires a specific protocol, which would include the silver or the mineral formula works very good for that. Inflammation formula is also very good as well. Okay, Miss Elizabeth Mary. Let me say, Mr. Kyle Thomas, a pleasant good morning to you. Miss Elizabeth Mary, Miss Jazzy Janice Innes says good morning, blessings. Miss Cecilia Idan, Dr. Batson, good morning. In the event that I cannot get the Jamaican castor oil, can I use the cold pressed castor oil? Yes, you can. You can. Okay, and Miss Solly O.C. Constance says, good morning, Mr. Batson. I started taking a colon cleanse and experienced some spots of blood in stool. Is it wise to continue the cleanse? Well, I don't know which cleanse you're using, but if it is you're using a cleanse and you do experience some blood in the stool, it may not necessarily be anything to worry about. But what I suggest you do maybe is not to use it every day. Maybe skip it and use it like every 3 days and increase your water intake. And then what type of blood you're seeing? Like bright red or dark red? Dark red is usually problematic because it means it comes from the upper intestines, which could be signaling things like some sort of inflammatory bowel condition, Crohn's, irritable bowel syndromes, diverticulitis, that type of thing. As well as it could also be an indication of some sort of digestive problem. There's a product, Bright Red. Well, no, Bright Red, you don't have to worry. Bright Red is lower intestines. So it could just be the matter of cleansing, but your water. Water is very important. Stay away from useless liquids. Useless liquids include soft drink, juice, coffee. You don't want that in your diet right now. You only should be drinking hot teas, no milk, no sugar in the tea, as well as your water. What you could also do is the silver with mineral formula. That is also something good to add because a lot of people have imbalances in the colon, especially colorectal. Because remember, your colon is ascending, transverse, descending, sigmoid. So the sigmoid colon, which is the lower aspect of the colon, just before the rectum there, some people usually have some problems there, especially if it is you don't drink sufficient water, you do not have sufficient fiber in your diet, those type of things. There's a product that we carry called Digestive Restore, which we have gotten back in stock. Very, very good product for balancing the gastrointestinal system. So that's something you could also pay very close attention to as well. Okay. Miss Kelly Shah Pahote says, Doc, what can I get from you for my mom who has carpal tunnel syndrome? She can use the inflammation formula. Check her water. She should be drinking her body weight divided by 2 ounces in water. The omega with the astaxanthin is also very good as well as the optimizer. Very, very good product. Okay, Ms. Bohute. So you can call the telephone number. That telephone number for Shagonas. Shagonas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsey Mouch Trace and the SS Erie Main Road. Those South clients that we have who I know, it's not like I was treating you badly, but I was not able to make it to South as I would have liked to, especially last year. Because of COVID, there was a number of things we had to change and whatnot. But I've since corrected that situation. I will be giving DB office their due, starting with the 1st of May, the 2nd of May, the 3rd of May. So that's Monday the 1st, Tuesday the 2nd, Wednesday the 3rd of May, as well as the 6th of May as well, which is the Saturday. So you can take advantage of that. That number for DB is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. Okay, good. And Shagonas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Keep in mind, Shagonas Open Clinic Day for Dr. Batson specifically is going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. Okay, that is Monday 24th, Tuesday the 25th, and Wednesday the 26th. Okay, Ms. Constance says Digestive Restore is the name. I will try to be in Shagonas by tomorrow or by next week to buy it. Okay, good, no problem. Okay, guys, so that brings an end to this live. Keep in mind, we are on from 2:15 to 1:15, my apologies, to 2 for our program on 106.5 FM. That's Freedom. And then we'll be joining DJ Mamu on DJ Mamu Radio TT from 2:15 to 3:15, sorry, today. So you could join that. We'll be answering more questions. We will be going through what we need to go through with you guys. But Jennifer Valentine says, Dr. Batson, I have started my products and my blood pressure is reading. My blood pressure was nice this morning. Okay, great. We're going to make sure and contact you, Ms. Ramdan. copied the echocardiogram for me, so I'll look at it and I'll make sure and contact you. Guys, do enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Remember, our open clinic day for Shogunas is the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th of next week. So take advantage of that. And then we'll be going to Day Bay, which is the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 6th. And Tobago is going to be the 8th to the 13th. Okay, so do take advantage of that. As we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Remember to check out our TikTok. Like us, share us. It is Dr. Batson on TikTok. For Facebook, we are Batson and Associates Limited. Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. The Nerve Restore, you could call the office or message and they'll let you know the price of the Nerve Restore. Very good product. Very, very good, very good. Right now, I'm using that a lot because these hours that I've been working is a lot of work. So I need to make sure to keep my stress levels down. Okay? You're very welcome, Miss Valentine. She say, have a blessed and wonderful day. So, guys, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless you guys and enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Remember, we are on again from 1:15 on Freedom 106.5 FM. And then we'll be on with DJ Mamu from 2:15 to 3:15, which is DJMamuRadioTT.com. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.